Hello trainers, Professor Palm here, and welcome back to Summer Splash. You know, I actually have to be honest, I've talked about a lot of things that we could do in the water, being in the water, but I haven't talked about the most important thing that a lot of us have done for a long time, and even back in the old days, and that would be fishing! In the world of Pokemon, we are usually given 3 different fishing poles by a fisherman. We can get the old rod, the good rod, and of course, the super rod. Whichever one of these fishing poles you use oftentimes gets you a much different Pokemon. If you want to get something really incredible, go with the super rod. If you're looking for something that's moderate and average, go with the good rod. But if you want to go with something old and nice, kind of like a Magikarp, go with the old rod. I also have to say that in the Alola games, after completing Lana's trial, you're given a fishing pole by her, which can catch almost anything out there. It doesn't have to be an old rod, a good rod, or even a super rod. It's just a fishing pole. Maybe I should go fishing right now. Maybe I'll go grab one of my Oh, that's right. I don't have any rods. Unfortunately, all I have on me right now is a silly little net. What can I catch with a silly little net? I mean, seriously, I want to catch something good, not something so-so. What am I supposed to catch? Like maybe a Feebas or maybe a Magikarp that just flops around all day? I have a single net. So what could I use to go catch any fish? Oh my goodness! What was I thinking? I know exactly what I could do. I could take the SpongeBob route and go jellyfishing! Aw man, that's a great idea. And I know the perfect Pokemon I could catch with a net. I could catch myself Tentacool and Tentacruel. Jeez, these Pokemon sting like crazy. Like, ow! I can feel that venom all into my fingers. Just give me a second to take a Pekka Berry or get an antidote. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm feeling much better after having a Pekka Berry. These Pokemon have a lot of poison in them. It doesn't matter where you try to touch them and if you don't even try to grab them by the tentacles. They'll still poison you nonetheless. And let me tell you, it really hurts like crazy. I mean, ow, I just went numb for like 5 minutes. So, yeah, these Pokemon are very deadly and they have a lot of venom in them. But if you're a poison type person, they're a very good Pokemon to have. After all, they can be a great victor for you for any battle. I have to say, I'm very happy that these Pokemon don't have a third form, because I don't think I'd want to see a Tentacool as a baby in Sea Lice form. I mean, this Pokemon already packs a big wallop for all of its poison it has in it. And I gotta say, if you thought getting a jellyfish sting, a stingray sting, or even bit by sea lice was bad, you have never once encountered one of these Pokemon. Their venom will drive you insane. It'll hurt like crazy, and you will always be afraid to go into the water. Yep, it's just like Jaws all over again, except it's jellyfish. While these Pokemon can be very deadly, they actually are great members to have of a team because of what they can do. Yeah, there's a lot of good things that these Tentacool can do, so why don't we talk all about them and learn what makes Tentacool and Tentacruel so unique, and why having jellyfish is a lot of fun. But before we begin, I want to give a huge thanks to Techrenova on Etsy for my new shirt, The Waterfall Dragon Within. If you're a big fan of Gyarados, then you should definitely buy this shirt. Not only will you show that you love Gyarados, you'll look great in this shirt as well. You are one phenomenal artist, Techrenova. I hope people give you the business that you deserve. You really should buy a shirt from her because they look great. I mean, look how cool this Gyarados design is. And you always see me wear these shirts in videos. So please, buy a shirt from her. And hey, tell her Professor Palm sent you. But now, let's talk about these jellyfish Pokemon. Let's be like SpongeBob and Patrick and stroll right into jellyfish fields and go jellyfishing! And we're going to start with the little jellyfish itself, Tentacool. I learned from my mistake. I'm not going to touch that thing again. So we're going to start with little Tentacool. Really? You can still zap me from a foot away or even a few inches? That's ridiculous. Let's just get on with Tentacool. Tentacool, the jellyfish Pokemon, looked very similar to that of a Master Ball with its two red orbs on its head and the one in the middle. This Pokemon also looks very much like the blue jellyfish that SpongeBob finally befriended, whom he named Friend after he had called him No Name for the entire episode. Despite Tentacool's appearance, did you know that this Pokemon is actually made out of 99% water? Yeah, the only 1% remaining is its organs, which store and hold its toxins. 99 to 1. Definitely makes you think of a certain SpongeBob SquarePants character. Since Tentacool are made out of 99% water, these Pokemon dry up very easily like parchment. In fact, if you go upon the beach early in the morning and see a bunch of Tentacool in the sand, you'll see that they're all shriveled up and dried out because of dehydration. These Pokemon need to be in water constantly, and not just any water. They need to be in nice salt water. Not to worry, all you have to do to restore these Pokemon is just grab them and throw them back into the sea. Because they absorb a lot of water very quickly, they'll be back to normal in no time. If you're curious why Tentacool often wash up on shores, the reason is simple. These Pokemon are not really strong swimmers, and they usually just drift across the surface of shallow seas. So yeah, oftentimes they just wash up with the tide, so don't be surprised. And be a dear and try to help these Pokemon. They might thank you by not stinging you or poisoning you. What you should be very wary of this Pokemon are its eyes and its tentacles. So why don't we start off with its eyes? If you go out into the ocean, you'll see a bunch of Tentacool bobbing their heads above the surface. If you see this, be very, very careful. What they're doing is absorbing sunlight through their red crystals, which they are converting into energy, and they will shoot out powerful purple beams from their crystal eyes, very similar to Cyclops of the X-Men. Now, despite being able to do this, these Pokemon cannot learn the move Psybeam, nor can they learn the move Single Beam. And despite absorbing sunlight, they can't even learn Solar Beam. Despite this Pokemon only having 2 little tentacles, be very aware of these things as they're full of deadly poison. When this Pokemon fights, it ensnares its foe in its 2 long tentacles, and then it stabs them with poison stingers just at the end. It even does this to trainers as well, and there are many fishermen who hook these Pokemon by accident and have many stories about getting their fingers poisoned. Before you hate this Pokemon, it's actually a very curious creature, and it often likes to explore and learn about its surroundings. You see, it often wraps its tentacles around things like coral, sand, and sometimes it wraps its tentacles around human arms. Try not to move, because when this Pokemon feels something moving, it attacks it with its deadly poison till it stops moving. So the best thing to do is just not move and let Tentacool go on its way. This Pokemon can also be very lazy. As I said before, it's not a great swimmer. So sometimes some Tentacool just stay underwater and just move because of the current instead of trying to swim. Also, these Pokemon are sometimes not interested in learning about their surroundings or anything, so they just close their eyes and just feel around, stinging whatever they come in contact with, even if it's a rock. Also, some of these Pokemon can be a little mischievous, as some of them can jump into the boat. Even though they'll dry up very quickly, they do happen to scare a lot of people off because of their deadly venom. Sadly, this Pokemon does not produce any jelly, so yeah, sorry Krusty Krab fans, this is a Pokemon that you will not be able to put jellyfish jelly onto a Krabby Patty for. But I think that's a good thing. Since this Pokemon produces a lot of toxic, the only place you'd be going after eating that Krabby Patty is the emergency room. Did you know that in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, in Cianwood City, if you happen to have only one Pokemon in your party and none in the PC, you can talk to a trainer at the Pokemon Center and they will give you a Tentacool for free. Yeah, Pokemon added that in so you could never get stranded in Cianwood City, which is pretty awesome. Also, you can repeat this method if you release that Tentacool, because the trainer will always have another one to give you. And yes, You can shiny hunt for a Tentacool this way, which is pretty awesome that they didn't shiny lock that. Tentacool's colors of red and blue also make you think of police sirens. Well, maybe the lights the sirens have. But, to be honest, what's very funny about this is that at night, this Pokemon can also light up its red crystals. So yeah, you could pretend that you are a cop with this Pokemon. Wow, for a little jellyfish, you should be very weary of it. But if you want to see what a true monster of a jellyfish it can be, then let's evolve our little Tentacool into the man of war itself, Tentacruel. And trust me, it definitely earned the name of cruel. Tentacruel, the jellyfish Pokemon, is a monster of the deep. Be sure you have a Pokemon ready, a Peck-a-Berry, or even an antidote on hand, because this Pokemon will make you terrified to even set a foot in the water. Steven Spielberg may have done that with Jaws, but Tentacruel did that with everyone who ever encountered this Pokemon. While the artwork, the anime, the card game, my plushie, and even the games never really show it, Tentacruel have a total of 80 tentacles. They all move around freely, and they can stretch and shrink at will. Also, these tentacles can tell their age, because the longer one has been alive, the fewer tentacles it will have, mainly because of battles, especially against Pokemon like Sharpedo. Be afraid of these tentacles, and not just for you anime girls, but anyone. Tentacruel wrap their tentacles around prey and weaken it with poison. Once they wrap around an enemy, these tentacles will never release, no matter what happens. The victim can struggle, attack, or even try to shake free, but they will never escape this Pokemon's entanglement. While the prey can try to break free, its tentacles will constrict all around the prey, injecting them with deadly venom, and it will never let up until the prey stops moving. And don't pretend to go limp so it stops. That's the worst decision you can make, because this Pokemon will then gobble you up whole without any remorse, and it will dissolve you in seconds with its incredible stomach acid. If you're scared of these Pokemon, well, guess what? Fish Pokemon are in agreement with you. When a massive outbreak of Tentacruel happens, the fish population disappears, kinda as if they're all being chased by Wormy if he got turned into a butterfly. I guess they're kind of like Bruce and the krill from Finding Nemo. Swim away! Now let's try to lighten the mood with Tentacruel. Emphasis on light, because those orbs are very important to this Pokemon. While most Pokemon talk to each other using their voices, or they fight each other to make a point, Tentacruel have a different way of getting their voices heard. How they do it is by their 3 red orbs on their head. These orbs glow different patterns to tell what they're saying to each other. If you really want to see it in its true beauty, watch it at night, because it's a true sight to behold, especially if you have a shiny Tentacruel thrown into there. Hey, Squidward Tentacles, if you're looking for some entertainment to show everyone for the next Bubble Bowl, I think you got these guys to help you out. When Tentacruel's orbs are blinking, it's often a warning sign, kind of like a car's hazard lights. When its red orbs glow very brightly, you better watch out. This Pokemon is about to fire in powerful ultrasonic waves. But if you get hit, it's your own fault. Mainly because this Pokemon tried to warn you with the strictly flashing red orbs. When Tentacruel is in battle, this Pokemon uses its tentacles to its full advantage to ensnare, fight, and even scare off its prey. It also uses its ultrasonic waves to help it for sonic attacks. But I'd have to say, if a squirrel had a tree dome under the sea, I'd say they should be careful around this Pokemon, because it could destroy that thing in less than a second. The cruelest thing about Tentacruel is this Pokemon doesn't even make its own jelly, and it's a jellyfish. Yeah, even if you earn its trust, that'll never happen. Sorry, Krusty Krab patrons, you're gonna have to find another jellyfish. But if we could end on a positive thing, I'll tell you one thing that's pretty good. Earning this Pokemon's trust means not only will you have a partner that could probably win a bunch of battles, it can battle 80 Pokemon at the same time, and it could also play 80 different board games with 80 different people. So how cool is that? You could have an entire game day with so many people, and a Tentacruel could even beat everyone there. Tentacruel and Tentacool made their anime debut in the episode Tentacool and Tentacruel. This episode was actually banned for a while. The reason why was because of the September 11th attacks and the destruction of many buildings. Yet despite this, the part of Tentacruel destroying a building was always still kept in the intro and was never edited out. I wonder why they still kept that. For me, Tentacool was actually the very first shiny Pokemon I ever caught and fully evolved into a Tentacruel. And I have to say, I don't really hate it shiny, but I don't love it either. I feel that they could have done more with it than just giving it green lights and making it a little bit of a darker blue. They should have gone with a very dark blue, in my opinion. But what do you guys think? On a very interesting note, these Pokemon only appear in salt water and nothing colder, which is very similar to jellyfish in the wild and because of their body's chemistry. Speaking of chemistry, these Pokemon are very reminiscent of the pH scale, which goes from 1 to 14, but in the middle is 7. And if you didn't know, jellyfish can only survive in the water of 7 on the pH scale. Any other water than that, they will die in. The lower part of the pH scale is the basic side, while the higher side is the acidic. And since these Pokemon have water and poison, they make a perfect 7, basically being in the middle, which is what a jellyfish needs to survive. So how cool is that? These Pokemon are actually based off of jellyfish, but the typing comes from chemistry. While these Pokemon cannot produce any jelly, sadly, they do bring a lot of beauty at night. As I said, with their lights, seeing that they communicate with each other, they bring an incredible light show. In fact, there are many boats that come during the night to watch these Pokemon talk to each other, because the sea lights up with such beautiful colors when these Pokemon talk. In fact, people stay so quiet that the Tentacool and Tentacruel are often unaware and just keep going with their conversations. But when you throw a shiny one into the mix, my goodness, is that an incredible light show to watch. If you like the combination of water poison, then these are great Pokemon to have on your team. Not only are they great against grass and fairy type experts, they're completely resistant to grass because of the poison typing. And if you want to catch either one of them, don't try a fishing pole. What you should do instead is take the SpongeBob route. Grab a net and go catch these Pokemon. It's a little something that Squidward Tentacles invented, and it's called JELLYFISHING! Wow, you gotta admit, for Pokemon that have a lot of poison, scare off other Pokemon, and can even really put people into the hospital, they sure put on a pretty nice light show with those red crystals. Maybe it'd be fun to watch them at night and just be very quiet so you don't disturb them. But what's your take on Tentacool and Tentacruel? Are these Pokemon that you always capture when you can? Or do you often get tired of encountering them in the wild and you just try to run away and oftentimes you can't, so you fight them? Also, are you a poison type person that likes poison type Pokemon? And are you considering adding Tentacruel or Tentacool to your team? I really would like to know. They're definitely great for taking on grass and fairy type Pokemon. I also just want to say that for little jellyfish Pokemon, they definitely make me scared to go into the water. But if they were real, I don't think anyone would go into the water knowing that these Pokemon could be swimming around. But there are some people out there that are daredevils and will take a challenge and will go into the water. Just be sure to have a P.E.K.K.A berry and an antidote on hand, and maybe even an electric type Pokemon, or even a psychic type Pokemon to take on these Pokemon. I have to say, I want you all to know that Summer Splash is coming to a close next week, but I hope you've all enjoyed soaking up in the water. And I also want to say that tomorrow is Father's Day, and stay tuned for a Father's Day special. So, Summer Splash will continue. If you like what you saw, please leave a like. If you want me to talk about another Pokemon that's a water type for the month, if you want me to talk about another Pokemon line in general, a Pokemon typing, or stuff about Scarlet and Violet, please comment. And as always, if you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit subscribe. Please share these videos with any of your friends if you want to. I just want to entertain you guys, and I'd be happy to entertain many other people out there. So, as I said, Summer Splash will continue, but it's coming to its end. Thanks for watching. Palm out.